And welcome, everybody. I'm Russ Snyder, voice of the Tiffin University Dragons, welcoming you in to our look at the 2022 Tiffin University Football Dragons. If you'd like more information on Tiffin University Football, the easiest place to get it is at gotiffindragons.com. Again, my name is Russell Snyder. You hear my voice on the play-by-play of every one of Tiffin University's football games. You can find us on the Tiffin University Dragon Football Radio Network at tudragonradio.com, as well as at Coast Country 100.9 WMJK out of Sandusky, and all of our video right here live at the Great Midwest Digital Network. Recently, I had a chance to go out to practice and take in a couple days and watch the kids working. I can tell you this, those kids are working incredibly hard. For a big group of kids as they have, these kids get along fantastically, and you want to see some athletes. Wait till you see these guys on the Dragon football field. I had a chance to talk to Coach Cris Reisert for a little bit and get a bit of a season preview here for you. So we're going to go ahead and play that for you. And as soon as I'm done with my conversation with Coach, we'll come back and break down the Dragon schedule. This is our look at Tiffin University football, the 2022 fall campaign. Here's my conversation with Coach Cris Reisert. Well, welcome to the 2022 fall. That means it's football season. Hi, everybody. I'm Russell Snyder, voice of the Tiffin University Dragons. To my left, head football coach Cris Reisert. Coach, how are we doing today on a beautiful sunny day?
Doing unbelievable. Yeah, getting ready to get out to a Wednesday practice, and guys have been really getting after it so far. So we're excited to get outside in the afternoon and get after each other a little bit.
So we're standing here on the brand new turf practice field that was recently installed here in the summertime. I know you love it. The kids love it. It's a great day to get a lot of work done, and in a facility like this, it's great. It's a great place to be able to get that work done as well.
There's no doubt. No, we're so excited about it. The school being able to provide this type of resource has been such an unreal help to our student athletes. And it's not just football. It's going to really aid so many different sports. It's going to aid new sports that we're creating. And so it's a win-win for the university in general, and for our team in particular. It's really been nice not having to drive anywhere for camp.
Right. Well, let's talk about football. That's why we're here today to preview the 2022 fall campaign. The Dragons preseason conference poll has you sit at the top spot, the second spot. You figure the teams that they had at the top is probably who you expected to be the top teams in the league. Well, let's talk about these group of young men that we got back here. I was out here yesterday, got a chance to watch a little bit, watch the offense work. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. Let's first talk about the kids you got coming back. A lot of depth in the running back core, and got a lot of depth up front as well. Let's start with the offensive line, and we'll work our way around.
Yeah, no, we're so excited about the way our offensive line has gelled together. You know, I think they've had a really, really good fall camp. I think they had a good spring, but been able to kind of elevate their game to another level in fall camp, and really led by some of our guys that are returning. You have Zach Richardson, our left tackle. You have Shane Bumgardner that's coming back as well, and Jordan Speller, guys that have been kind of anchor points for our group. James Raber, Jacob Oglesby. So we're excited about that crew coming back, and got some good young guys, got some good transfers came in as well that have really given us a nice boost. So we're excited for that.
The guys that are labeled as the skill players, you can't tell me an offensive lineman is not a skill player, but the guys that are listed as a skill player, gotta love all that experience up there up front, taking care of the line of scrimmage for them. Let's talk about the running backs core you got coming back. A lot of experience. You had some kids come in through the recruiting process as well, so a lot of depth belt there in the backfield as well.
Yeah, really excited about that group. You know, you got Darius Penix returning, you got Devin Nelson returning, and those guys bring in some really valuable game experience and continue to be incredibly reliable. And had some newcomers come in, got a couple young freshmen, got a transfer in Justin Felder, who's done a really nice job throughout fall camp, and throw in Tyrese Banksthorn and other guys that have been here and really done a nice job. We're excited about that group for sure.
Wide receiver core, you got to get them the ball, or they'll make sure that you know that they want the football. So you got to have those kind of guys. There's a lot of confidence that comes with playing a wide receiver spot. Talk about that group.
Yeah, that group's really had an unreal fall camp. They really have, and I'm really excited about what they're going to be able to do this fall. You've got Anthony Lower coming back, and obviously he's been such a dynamic player for the green and gold here for the last couple of years. And you got Jalen Thomas coming back, and we're really excited about him. And you got James Dean and a couple other new guys. Josh Lewis is the new receiver coming in that's had a really good camp. So we're very excited about our depth there, and very excited about some of the things that they can do.
I saw a lot of speed, all your wide receivers, and I saw some good size out there too. So a nice mix in that group. Well, everybody's going to be asking you about quarterbacks all the time now, but the quarterback play we've had for the last few years have been pretty consistent, pretty good. What I saw out here yesterday looks like that's probably going to continue.
Yeah, we're excited about the quarterback position. I think we've got guys playing really at a high level. Christian Carter obviously has done a great job. Will Thomas is in the mix. Jet Eng was in the mix, and Drew Zabi would be in the mix as well. And so we're really excited about those four guys, and look forward to getting to week one and being able to put it on display.
Can you believe week one's right around the corner? I mean, it's a week from Saturday.
A week from Saturday. It's quite amazing.
Well, that's the offensive side of the football, but you got to score points in a game of football, but you also got to stop your opponents from scoring points. And a lot of depth on the defensive line. We'll start there. And, Coach, when I was watching practice yesterday, it was really cool to see one of your veteran defensive linemen taking an interior guy, taking a young defensive end to the side after a play and making sure he knew this is what you should have done. Don't worry about it because I got what you need to have covered. It was great to see that, him calling him young blood, and just great to see the upperclassmen taking care of those young guys because it needs to work as one whole unit.
No doubt. No, I think just speaking of the culture in general, I think that this is a bought-in team. I think it's a group that likes each other. Right. I think it's a group that's hungry. We've got a lot to prove from where we came from and where we want to go to, and so taking it one day at a time and 1 week at a time, and that's been really cool. But their ability to kind of interact with one another and lead and teach each other, right. I think that separates really good teams from having teams that have a chance to be very, very good. And so I think we're doing that. But up front on the defensive line, we got a lot of guys coming back. You got Charlie Cleveland, you got Latrell Robinson, you got Hunter Waits, you got Montez Kelly. You've got some really key pieces, and then we're able to bring in some really good transfers as well that we're excited about up there as well. So I think that group is going to be a very big staple for us moving into the 2022 season.
Well, all those names you said made some really big plays for you, not only last year, but the last couple of years as those defensive line positions. Linebacker core, you had some guys move on, some guys you got to replace, but you also got a lot of guys coming back again with a lot of experience in there. Talk about those guys making a lot of tackles for you.
Yeah, no, there's a ton of experience coming back at that position, and then there's some new young guys that have been really good, and so we're super excited there. We had a transfer in Sir Zion Dance, and is a guy that we played against at Marion last year, and that was a really, really good football player, and so he's with us. And you've got Barry Brown that's played a lot of big games for us, and he's playing linebacker. You got Christian Watkins that has been a stalwart for us for a long time, and then you got young guys like Collier Brown and Zeke Brown and Marshawn Mankins and guys that are really kind of bursting onto the scene, and so we're excited for that group, and as anything, right, anxious to get them some game reps and some game experience and see kind of how the dust settles at that position.
We talked about our wide receivers. If you don't get them the ball, they're going to let you know that they want the ball, and same on the other side of the football as well. You're going to get some very talented receivers in the GMAC each and every week, let alone our out-of-conference schedule this year, which is going to be a bear. I'll go through the schedule after our time with Coach when he gets over working with the kids again, but let's talk about the guys that got to cover those wide receivers. Your secondary, a lot of really good athletes there too.
We do. No, that's a great group for us. We got a lot coming back. You got Caleb Street, you got Tyler Richardson, you got Jermaine Wimpy, guys that have been around for a long time, played a lot of football. And then you got Patrick Twame and Chucky Lewis is kind of a newcomer that have done some really good things. And you throw in Austin Andrews and you throw in Jesse Johnson and James Weaver, and we're really, really excited about that position. Torrey Hunt is back with us. And so I think there's 10, 11, 12 guys back there that we're really going to be able to play football for us. And so we're excited about that. And it's like you said, competition against each side of the ball makes it go, and I think really competition within a position is really, really imperative as well. And so we're thankful to be able to have enough guys that are really battling for spots and battling for an opportunity to be the guy at their respective position.
There's athletes all over this field, Coach, and that only, like you said, the guy on the other side of the ball when you're in practice is pretty darn good. That's going to make you a much better football player as well. One other aspect of the game to talk about, Coach, is the special teams. And I was out here yesterday. I was watching the field goal work, and boy, that young man, he had out there kicking right down the middle, nice and high every time. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, we're excited about that group. It's a new group. Our long snapper Ryan Young is the lone returner there, and so we're really excited about him and been able to get some really, really talented kickers and punters that we're excited about. It'll be a bunch of guys that'll kind of fill those voids, and whether it's Nick Basil or Nick West or Matt, and so we've got some really key positions I think filled, and anxious to see him get live reps, right, and anxious to see him do it in person. But in camp, it's been really, really exciting because I think that can be a dynamic group, and you don't talk about it oftentimes, but it's a huge, huge deal. And so having a group that can be such a reliable and faithful group for us is a really big, comforting feeling.
Well, that takes a third of the stress away from yours, right?
Who are you telling? There's no doubt.
All right, last thing, Coach, coaching staff. Yeah. Any changes on the staff this year that folks would like to know about?
Yeah, no, we do. We got some new coaches, got some old coaches, and guys that have been here for a while. You got Coach Johns, Tyler Johns, our offensive coordinator, and Dave Price, our associate head coach. And they've been with me for a long time. Coach Parker Carmichael, special teams coordinator. And then you got some new blood coming in. Coach Holzer, Blaze Holzer came in last year. Brock Caraboa, our defense coordinator. Tim Bennett, our defensive backs coach. Those guys have done an amazing job. And so new strength coach, Coach Sam Schroeder, and a lot of new faces, but same goal, same mindset, right? All rowing in the same direction. I'm really thankful to have such a good staff. I joke all the time, they make me look good every day, and so being able to be around those guys and learn from them and get to work with them is a blessing for sure.
Yeah, a good leader surrounds himself with great people. So
Smarter people than I.
Right, and you're bringing in people who have that same mindset, the same type of culture you want to build, makes it a big ease, I guess, in the transition, not only for you but for the players as well. All right, Coach, last thing, when the fans see their Dragons take that field for the first time on Labor Day weekend, and then when they get to see us come back home in Frost Cow Stadium after that, let them know what the folks are going to see when they see those Dragons take the field.
Same will always say, hopefully we're going to play with relentless effort, right? We're going to play as hard as we possibly can for 60 minutes, right? We're going to play really smart situationally, and we're going to play with great energy, and honestly, that's what we want to be. That's who we are. Hopefully you're going to see a relationship-based team, a team that really likes each other and will feed off each other's energy, and I think that's what makes us different and special. And so exciting group to be a part of, a thankful group that I get to coach, and just enjoying every day, not putting anything into too far ahead in the season, just one day at a time, all right, trying to be the best version of ourselves, and we can do that, then I think we got a great group.
All right, Coach, go get them. I know your kids are ready to get work, and I know you're ready to get to work, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
All right, thank you. That's Coach Cris Reisert. Season coming up starting on Labor Day weekend, Saturday. Then the Dragons will come home for a couple home games in September before venturing back out on the road at the end of the month. I'll come back with you just a little bit and talk to you about the schedule. We'll break it down here at the Dragons season preview show for the 2022 football fall campaign.
Coach Reisert expecting a lot of great things out of his kids this year. They lost a lot last year. The last two quarterbacks that have played for Tiffin University have both been on the roster for years and have played a lot of great football. So some big questions to answer, the quarterback position being one of them. But from what I've seen during the practice, it shouldn't be something the Dragons got to worry about a whole lot. Let's take a look at the Tiffin University schedule right now. It gets started this weekend, Labor Day weekend, when the Dragons get the pleasure of going on the road and opening up a brand new football stadium that's home of the Walsh Cavaliers. Last year, Walsh finished at the bottom of the conference with a 1-6 conference record, 2-9 overall. They did win their last game, though, to give them a little bit of momentum going into the season. And most of the folks think it's going to be more of the same. Walsh and Lake Erie both picked at the bottom of the preseason rankings with 16 total points, both in the 8th and 9th spot, tied at the last position. Up next for the Dragons on September 10th, it'll be the Dragons' first home game as the Dragons welcome in the Panthers from Ohio Dominican. Ohio Dominican last year finished 4th in the GMAC with a 4-3 conference record, 7-4 overall, and that's where the conference has them in the preseason rankings as well, sitting in the 4th spot. Now, they are the highest-rated team that did not have a first-place vote. Third game for the Dragons, out of conference. It's the University of Indianapolis. Last year, the Dragons went there and got a big, tough, hard-fought victory. Remember, one of the big games and big plays in that game, was a Latrell Robinson interception return off of a pass that hit a player in the helmet. The Dragons will be here to host that game on Saturday the 17th against University of Indianapolis and the Greyhounds at 7 p.m. Saturday, September 24th, Tiffin's on the road to Truman State University, a game that's Truman State, a come-from-behind victory here against the Dragons. Truman, a traditional powerhouse in a Division II football. This time, the Dragons got to go out to the state of Missouri to play Truman, and that is our look at September. Let's move on to October. The Dragons will open up October with homecoming weekend, a bit of a change to the homecoming Hall of Fame ceremonies, but a lot of fun stuff going on all over campus Saturday, September 1st weekend. The Dragons will take on the Storm of Lake Erie. As we said, they last year finished 2-5. That had them in the 6th spot in the GMAC, 2-5 in conference, 5-6 overall. This year's preseason rankings has them tied with Walsh at the bottom with 16 total points. That's the Lake Erie Storm and homecoming weekend. Saturday, October 8th, the Dragons on the road, a tough conference battle as they'll go up to face Hillsdale. Hillsdale finished last year tied with the Dragons in the 2nd spot in the conference, 5-2, one game behind the winner of the league. And Hillsdale overall, though, finished only 6-6. This year in the preseason polls, Hillsdale right in the middle of the pack. There's now 9 teams in the conference. Hillsdale sitting in the 5th spot with 42 points in the preseason voting. Dragons are going to road again, back-to-back weeks, this time going to Ashland. It's been a while since the Dragons have been to Ashland. Ashland last year finished tied with Ohio Dominican with a 4-3 conference record, 5-5 record overall. This year, conference thinks they're going to be a little bit better. They got 2 first-place votes in the preseason rankings, and Ashland comes in the 3rd spot with 52 total points. And then October 29th, our final Saturday in October, the Dragons welcome in a former conference foe and now a new conference opponent when the Timberwolves of Northwood come in. Northwood picked in the 6th spot right behind Hillsdale here in the preseason conference rankings with 22 points. It's going to be nice to see Northwood back on the schedule regularly. Let's move into November. 2 more games left on the Dragons schedule and the final road trip as the Dragons will head down Kentucky Wesleyan on the first Saturday in November. Last year, Kentucky Wesleyan finished tied with Walsh at the bottom of the GMAC, a 1-6 record, 3-8 overall. This year, Kentucky Wesleyan picked in the 7th spot, a spot ahead of Lake Erie and right behind Northwood with 21 points in the preseason voting. And on Saturday, November 12th, the big one. The Dragons looking to avenge last year's loss in the last game of the season. This time, the Oilers of Findlay come to Tiffin. Last year, Findlay won the conference. The Dragons and Findlay were tied. Findlay ends up 6-1. The Dragons 5-2. Findlay 8-4 overall last year. And Findlay this year picked to win the conference again. They got 4 first-place votes and 56 total points. The Dragons picked till second in the conference preseason rankings. They got 3 first-place votes. Ashland had the only other votes with 2. And the Dragons with 54 total points in the GMAC preseason rankings. That's a look at our schedule this year. The Dragons should have a fun year. As we said, lots of athletes all over the field. Some new changes to the coaching staff that Coach Reisert told you about in our program just a little bit ago when we talked to him. And we'll be having Tiffin University football talks with Coach Reisert each and every week. So make sure you stay tuned in to gotiffindragons.com and check out the football webpage there at the website. And we will always have you updated on what's going on in and around Tiffin University football. Again, my name is Russell Snyder. I'm the Director of Broadcasting here on Tiffin University campus and the play-by-play voice of all Tiffin University athletics. Can't wait to see you at the games. Can't wait to check in with you pregame and postgame and hopefully be able to say hi to you somewhere down the line. Dragons open it up this Saturday at Walsh. We hope to see you there, and we'll catch you next week as we review Week 1 and preview Week 2 right here on your home of the Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. I'm Russ Snyder.